Hey guys, Dakota here from WebWars to look at Sombra's kit and speculate some of the potential abilities. So with Sombra inbound, it's about time we looked into what her kit could possibly be. Our first and foremost clues come from the leaked image. Her standard DPS feature seems to derive from her Uzi-like gun in her right hand. It should behave as a decent short to mid-range fire, similarly to how Widowmaker's rifle works out of scope. She also seems to be carrying multiple mines or bombs on her belt that share similarities to Tracer's pulse bombs. What exactly they do, I'll get to later in the video. Now looking at her hands reveals some claw-like additions to her fingers. It very well could be an aesthetic design, but given the intricacy of the detail, including the pipes or wires leading into them, they must serve a purpose of some kind. One theory is that they are a melee attack and could possibly emit a poison or debuff to enemy players. As fun as this seems, there's evidence to support them as an environmental feature. They also could be used as some sort of grappling feature where she can climb and or stick to the walls of her environment to give her a strategic advantage. The evidence behind this comes from the most recent PTR. When Widowmaker is used in PTR, there have been reported cases where her grappling hook will now get stuck to the ceilings and walls, rendering her useless as the hook never finishes its animation. Before PTR, hitting ceilings and walls would have just have her grapple to that location and she would just then fall from that place. Having her suddenly stick to walls and ceilings like this in PTR suggests that some changes were intended for Sombra but affected Widowmaker on accident. The next clue comes from the latest addition to the Sombra ARG, the Lumerica website. If you haven't already, check out the Sombra release date theory that explains the ARG up to this point. So Lumerica posted in their news section that a service interruption has occurred affecting Omnix of Mexico. It states, "We have received reports of Omnic customers suffering from small service interruptions, including the possible transmission of a strange sound. We have no information to report at this time, but we are investigating the cause of the issue." We know Sombra is a hacker, so Omnix should be no exception to her abilities, especially given that month-long process on amomentincrime.com allowed her to hack Bastion. This transmission of a strange sound more than likely is directly related to the Morse code that Bastion emits when near Sombra protocol monitors, also covered in the Sombra release theory video. Not only that, but the emails mentioned the espresso machine in the Lumerica office was emitting strange noises as well. What does this mean for her kit? Well, Sombra being a hacker has become a blatantly obvious key part of her power and influence in the Overwatch universe, and this service interruption is just more proof of what she is capable of. Remember those bombs on her belt? Being visually similar to Tracer's pulse bombs leads me to believe that they are electromagnetic pulse or EMP bombs that emit a pulse that renders all tech in its radius ineffective for a certain amount of time. This could literally wipe out the tech's ability to be used or cause a debuff reducing damage or output in some way. With Ana's grenade causing heal blocking, it's not outlandish to say that a potential support hero like Sombra could be capable of something similar. If you think about it, most Overwatch characters in some way, shape, or form have some sort of augmentation or armor or some sort of tech associated with them that gives them some sort of advantage or level playing field. The mines or bombs that she carries could be thrown or stuck strategically, but beyond that, it's too hard to say. The last and probably most exciting potential part of her kit comes from the clues gathered by data mining the game itself. By procuring data from the game files, many unused assets can be found that may or may not ever be used. In relation to Sombra, these two reveal a glaring new possibility. That Sombra can turn at least herself invisible. To further the idea as a support role, Sombra being able to turn invisible, or her teammates invisible, creates a significant advantage on the battlefield. Listen to this voice line by Torbjorn.
"Something's not right."
Not specific enough?
An unseen enemy is here.
Voice lines like these open up the possibility to players losing most if not all their visibility to enemy players, making finishing off characters much harder, and even more game-changing, being flanked completely by a hard to see or literally invisible enemy. The last data mine voice line doesn't support the invisibility idea directly, but it is the most chilling one in relation to Sombra's power, and it comes from Athena.
"Unauthorized person detected."
This is a haunting reminder that no tech is safe from her abilities, including the potential god program, Athena. When Reaper raided Watchpoint Gibraltar, the attempt to hack Athena could be done by none other than Sombra herself, but the question is, how would this voice line be used in the game? What do you think? Could this be the abilities that we get when Sombra's released? Is there anything that I missed? Make sure to check out the other Overwatch theories, speculations, and discussions, like the Sombra release update or a future video on god programs. And don't forget, I'll see you in the next video.